now tuned into The Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G.
All right. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham, also known as G. Once again, we are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is doing well. We are Thursday. We got to Thursday. I think it's the 11th of the month of May. We're trekking on. We are almost headed to the summertime. But I hope all is well with everyone. I hope you had a good week so far. One more day to the weekend. And like I say, I seem to be having rough weeks every week, so I'm glad to see the weekend coming up. One more day. I'm gonna try not to cuss nobody out at the job. We're gonna see how that goes on tomorrow. As long as they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone. I guess that's how it works. But I want to thank you for tuning in right here on The Truth with G. Special time today. We are here at 5:30 instead of 6 o'clock. And I posted it on my Facebook, and I know most people did not get it or what have you, but I apologize for the last minute time change there. But the thing is, I do have a function that I have to attend this evening, so I needed to move the time up so I can run up out of here as soon as we're done today, so I can get to this function. I'll be a little bit late, but I'll get there. So, but I didn't want to leave you guys without coming on the air today and talking about a couple of issues that are hot in the news right now. So we're definitely going to talk about issues. But once again, thank you for tuning in right here on WPMM Internet Radio, where we do play more music. It's an R&B, jazz, talk, neo, soul, hip-hop, old school music. And you can listen to WPMM from the website at WPMMradio.com. You can also go to TuneIn, iTunes. You can also tell Alexa to play WPMM. She will oblige as well. Or go to the iPhone, the Apple Store, or the Google Play Store, and you can download the app. It's a free app. You can also get that app from the website, WPMMradio.com. Download that app. But we are streaming live on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. And if you have someone who's not tech savvy, just text them, WPMMradio.com, put that in the message field, hit play. They can click on the link, hit play, and they will be able to enjoy this show as well. So, the views and opinions expressed by individual radio hosts are of their own and does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to malign with any religion, ethnic group, club, company, organization, or anyone or anything. Because I tell you, I think Facebook gonna try to sue me today. Let me, before we get started, let me tell you what Facebook did to me. I put out a flyer yesterday about today's show. First, Ms. Rivers has joined us on Facebook. Good to see you there, Ms. Rivers. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and share if you would, please. Go ahead and share. Good to see you there, Ms. Rivers. But here's what Facebook did to me. And I put it right back up. But Facebook, I posted my flyer on yesterday, and Facebook took it down because they gave this, and I don't have the exact verbiage, but in a nutshell, they say it wasn't nice. But all I did is, and if you look at the flyer for this show tonight, I called the ex-president of the United States a rapist, which he is. So I guess that's what was the reason they took it down. But at the same time, anytime that I talk about or post anything about Trump, especially when I come on the air and talk about the orange idiot and his stupid followers, I tend to have issues. So with that being said, just be mindful of the fact that if you're listening on Facebook, I anticipate that I'm going to have some technical issues with Facebook. It seemed like it's going to happen because today's show mostly is talking about the orange idiot and the shenanigans that are going on around him today. But yeah, they took my post down and said it was mean, if you will, and I'm paraphrasing. And I wish I had the exact verbiage. I didn't save it, but I wish I had the exact verbiage so I can tell it to you. But like I say, I don't know what Trump and Zuckerberg got going on, but they seem to mess with me every time I say something bad about them. But we're gonna talk bad about them today. So not taking phone calls today, but you can leave your comments into the comment section on Facebook if you listen on Facebook. If you're not, if you can't find me on Facebook, the where to go is uh, TTWG Graham. TTWG for the Truth with G Graham. GRAHAM. That's how you can find me on Facebook if you're looking for me on Facebook, or to go to WPMM Facebook page under Jeff Dawson. Under Jeff Dawson again, TTWG Graham or WPMM under Jeff Dawson. You can go to either one of those pages and listen from there. And if we do get cut off on Facebook, which I kind of anticipate we may, if we get off, just go to the app or go to the website, WPMMradio.com, and you can listen from the app. They can't mess with us over there on the app. We are internet radio, so keep that in mind. So tonight, unless you've been under a rock or just don't pay attention to what's going on around you, everybody should know that as we speak right now, we have a former president of the United States of America that was convicted. I'm going to use the word convicted, even though that's not the technical term. And I'm also used to technical court term, if you will. He was found liable and have to pay damages for the sexual assault, which I'm going to say the word rape, of E. Jean Carroll. It took place 20 some odd years ago at a Bergdorf, the department store that she claimed that the claim was made. However, she did not speak out on it at the time that it happened. However, after the rape took place, she did contact a couple of her friends and told a couple of her friends about the situation. And those same friends that she told, and it's a good thing that she did tell somebody at that time. But those same people that she told testified in this civil trial as to what they were told at the time that the orange idiot raped E. Jean Carroll. So that trial, it actually ended on Tuesday. It was on Monday night. The jury got the case, and no, the closing arguments took place on Monday. So as a Monday night show, I wasn't able to give you any information on Monday night show because the closing arguments took place. The jury got the case. They were given instructions on Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon, if you will, and it took them about 2 hours to come back with a verdict. That verdict was, and the wording is a little tricky because he was not found. Which I don't understand. He was not found guilty of rape, but he was found guilty of sexual assault. And if you look at the definition in the state of New York under the crime of rape, he should have been found guilty of rape. So I feel like, but at the same time, it's the same thing. It's almost like they just tried to make it sound softer, if you will. But it's the same thing, rape. Again, the jury took less than 2 hours to come back with a verdict. And Miss Wilson is joining us tonight. Good to see you there, Miss Wilson. Thank you for joining us tonight. Again, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. Here's the thing about this trial, and I want to talk to the ladies here, because this trial has been a monumental trial and decision in regards to women's rights. This trial only was able to take place because in New York they changed the law to where you can go back and charge someone civilly for rape, sexual assault, molestation, this, that, and other. You can go back and charge them civilly after the criminal statute of limitations has ran out. So if that law hadn't changed, and that law changed a couple of years ago, I want to say it changed in 2020. So if that law had not changed, E. Jean Carroll would still be in the same position where she would be, her name would still be being defamed, if you will. Her character would be defamed because she would be known as the person who accused Trump of something that she can't prove. So with that law, she was able to go back and sue civilly, and he was found guilty. I'm going to use the word guilty, technical term, he was found liable. Same difference of rape. But here's the troubling thing, and again, I'm going to talk to the ladies here. I need the ladies to pay close attention to what I'm saying. Ms. Wilson said, if he doesn't shut up. And by the way, I can't see jack crap right now. I just got off work 30 minutes ago. I just stopped looking at the computer screen. Now I'm trying to look at another computer screen to read stuff going on. Got a couple of computers in front of me, so I'm struggling to see them. So when you put your comments up, I will read them. I may sound like I'm illiterate and can't read, but that's not the case. I promise you. I just can't see. It takes me once I get off work, it takes about 3 hours for my eyes to focus again after looking at that computer all day. So Miss Wilson says if he doesn't shut up, he will be sued again for defamation of character. Yes, that is definitely possible. I was listening to a legal expert today, or this earlier today, and they stated the same thing, that even though that that particular suit was a verdict had been given, reward had been assessed, and if he continues to talk, if he continues to defame Ms. Carroll, he can be sued again. And if he's sued again, the likelihood of him losing is great, because he's too stupid to realize that he's stupid, if that makes any sense. He's on a level of stupidity that has surpassed the common person as far as their understanding of stupidity. It's like we can't understand why someone is really that damn stupid. But anyway, here's the problem with this particular case and this particular verdict, because it happened to the orange idiot. Shortly after the verdict and prior to last night fiasco, we have Republican lawmakers. These are the men, and these were men. These are the men that introduce and make laws to govern this country. Even though Ms. E. Jean Carroll was courageous enough to come forward and say that this man raped me, and that I am willing to put my life and my livelihood on the line to get justice from being raped, these lawmakers are pretty much saying she is lying. They are casting doubt on the judicial system when it comes to the jury. I think Marco Rubio came out and said something to the effect that he was disgusted by the jury. There's other lawmakers that have came out and said things against the court system in regards to the jury coming to the verdict that they did. But what does that do, and what does that say for other women who have been in the same situation, who have been sexually assaulted, raped, what have you? When you have the lawmakers casting doubt on the due process in our judicial system. First of all, these men that are defending Trump, first of all, they're scum of the earth. They are the most disgusting people that you ever come across in your life. And for them to be sitting in a position of power in our Congress, that even makes it worse. But for you ladies, this may deter a lot of ladies from coming forward when they are abused sexually by someone they know, a stranger, or what have you. We know that there are that reported cases of rape and sexual battery, if you will. The numbers are nowhere near being balanced as far as how these crimes are reported. The 1 out of every 3 women, and this is a sad stat here. 1 out of 3 women will be sexually abused in their lifetime. That's 1 out of 3. If you went to public school and you do the math, you'll come out with somewhere around 33.33%. So 33% of the population of women at some point in time will be sexually assaulted based on statistics. That is sad. That is a sad figure. That does not put men in a positive light, if you will, because most of the sexual assaults do take place in regards to a woman. It takes place by a man. And no, I'm not saying that a woman can't sexually assault a woman, because yes, they can. However, in this particular case, the men, the percentage of men that are sexually assaulting women far outweighs the number of women that are sexually assaulting men. And I must say, and play devil's advocate as well, is that for the most part, for men, and I say this with all seriousness, for men, a sexual assault, which could be legally defined as a sexual assault from a woman to a man would consider that to be flattering. A man would consider that to be some type of perverted foreplay, if you will. But that's just the mentality of a majority of men. So men don't necessarily see a sexual assault as a crime. They see it as a form of flattery. They see it as a form of flirtation. They see it as a form of foreplay or what have you. So the mentality is totally different. But in the flip side, when a man accosts or assault a woman, it is totally different. Completely different. Because 9 times out of 10, that man has the power over that woman. And I'm not trying to call women weak or anything, but it's just physical in nature that men are typically more stronger and more aggressive than women. And again, that's no assault or saying trying to downplay the strength of a woman. But I can guarantee you that there's, for instance, I'll use myself as an example. So if I get in trouble, I get in trouble by using myself. Uh, I can't say that there's too many women out there that can overpower me. I'm sure there's some out there. There's some power lifters out there that's pushing a lot of weight, and they may be able to get me. But for the most part, there's not too many women out there that can overpower me. And again, I'm not saying that to say that women are weak. I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about physical abilities and the way that men are built versus women. So, but for these lawmakers to downplay the role that the orange idiot played in the assault of this woman, E. Jean Carroll, and keep in mind that he has been accused by 20 plus women. By 20 plus women. I apologize, you guys. I need to. Yeah, but anyway, he has been accused by 20 plus women of the same type of activity that he was sued for in a civil trial and lost when it comes to Miss E. Jean Carroll. Oh my God. I apologize here for a second. I apologize. Um, and I apologize. I was getting a message here that I really need to take, and I apologize to you guys on the air. I promise you I do. Uh, I apologize. I normally don't do that, but that was pretty serious there, or I needed to take that. Okay, but anyway, but this our lawmakers are telling us, these perverted and disgusting lawmakers that we have are telling you women that your mind, your bodies does not count in today's society. If they cannot recognize the fact that a woman came forward and says that she was raped by any individual, not just talking about the orange idiot. If a woman comes forward and said that they were raped and that crime has been verified and it's legitimate, uh, these lawmakers are saying that it doesn't matter, and if their men are found guilty, it's not the man's fault who it's the jury's fault. And these jurors, when I don't know if all of you had jury duty. I done had jury duty 2 or 3 times. Well, I've been called about 4 times. I sat on one jury, and when you do jury duty, you have to disrupt your life to do jury duty. This particular case ran a couple 3 weeks. In regards to jury duty, it ran 2 or 3 weeks. These people on jury duty are getting paid pennies a day. I think here in Florida and Pensacola is like it's like 2 or 3. It's like $15 a day, I think. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So, with that being said, these people that sit on these juries sacrifice a lot because once you're called, you have to answer. It is actually, you can be criminally prosecuted if you don't answer a subpoena to appear for jury duty. So for people to take time out of their life, they're being forced to take time out of their life to go to a courthouse and sit there and listen to testimony and sit and evaluate that testimony to the best of their ability to determine guilt or innocence. And then we have the lawmakers, the people that are making the laws, that they are using to come up with a verdict. For those people to cast doubt on those jurors is disgusting. And I'm talking about these Republican lawmakers who did just that. You can't get any lower than that. In that aspect, in regards to our judicial system, we all know that our judicial system is not perfect. We know that the juries, the people that sit on juries, can be biased from time to time. They can have certain they can have certain preconceived notions about a particular defendant prior to going into the trial. They can be racist if it's dealing with the opposite, somewhat of the opposite race, if you will. We know that happens. But again, our lawmakers should be people that we can trust to, one, uphold the Constitution, two, to validate and make sure that the judicial process is ran accordingly and in the guidelines of the laws that they set. And we can't even, as a woman, you can't even depend on that based on what happened. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about the case of E. Jean Carroll, where the orange idiot, some of you may call him Donald Trump, lost a civil suit, $5 million he had to pay. He has to pay. He's going to appeal. I don't know what he's going to appeal because the orange idiot never showed up in court. He didn't even bother to show up in court. He didn't think that this was a serious enough case for him to show up in court and defend himself. He thought that he was going to be just like he's been his whole life and just get away with anything and everything. However, in this particular case, he did not get away with this one. This is the first time he has been held accountable for anything that he has done. Over the years, there's so much criminal activity under his belt. There's so much fraud. And just keep in mind, prior to this, and I had a list, and I don't know what I did with it. But there was, he had Trump University. He was sued over Trump University because it was a fraudulent school. It wasn't an accredited school. He duped a lot of people out of their money. Trump University. He had Trump Stakes, where he that folded. He had the Trump Organization was recently on trial and lost a fraud case where they had to pay out millions of dollars. He has been indicted on 34 criminal charges in New York and Manhattan in regards to fraud. He has been indicted. He's been found guilty and also in New York on rape in a civil trial. He is facing criminal charges in Georgia over the 2020 election in regards to election fraud, where he orchestrated these fake electors to try to use the fraudulent fake electoral votes to overturn the election. He's under investigation for January 6th, which he has admitted everything. He's under investigation in Florida over the documents, which he admitted last night, that he is guilty. But rape, classified documents is a serious matter, but rape is a more serious matter. Election fraud is a serious matter, but rape is a more serious matter. And he was found guilty. And even after he's found guilty, he is still he is still defaming E. Jean Carroll. He is still trying to destroy her character, even after losing a rape trial and having to pay $5 million. He is still defaming this woman. Which leads us to last night. I'm going to stay on this topic just for a little bit on last night because I was so disgusted. I was just extremely disgusted. And if you were disgusted, let me know. If you saw it. If you saw it, let me know. But on last night, CNN decided that they were going to give this dumbass a platform to come on and do a town hall. CNN, I have been a watcher of CNN for a long time. When I found out that CNN was going to allow this person to do a town hall, I questioned it. I wonder why would they give this idiot a platform? And I'm kind of on the fence. I'm kind of on the fence in regards to this matter. And here's why I'm on the fence. In a election, in a campaign, if you will, everyone has the opportunity to use a platform to get their message across when they are campaigning and running for any seat, office, what have you. I've listened to many town halls, many debates, many commercials, many campaign speeches, and a lot of them I did not like what I heard in those cases, and some of it I liked what I heard. However, I feel that I had the right to hear it. And when we get into trying to censor someone under this Constitution, and I use that word lightly, and I'm going to put up the air quotes, Constitution, we are awarded the freedom of speech. We are awarded and given the right to say what we want to say. Not saying that there are not consequences over what we may say and how it comes across, but we have the right to say what we want to say. So let's assume that there are going to be, we'll throw out a random number. Let's say that there are going to be 5, because there's not going to be many on the Republican side of things. Let's say that there are going to be 5. We'll go 10. 10 people on the Republican side that is going to throw their hat into the ring to run for office of the President of the United States. 10 Republicans. Do you allow 9 of those to come on to your network and state their case and not allow that 10th one to come on because you don't agree with what they say? Even if you know that person is going to be an asshole, he's going to be an idiot, he's going to speak lies, he's going to spew lies, and he's going to go through all that. But do you, under the freedom of speech, under the Constitution, do you censor or stifle that person from coming onto your network and saying what they have to say? That's the big question there. Do I think CNN should have had him on? No, I don't think they should have had him on. But at the same time, was it his right to do so? Even though he's one of the most disgusting and vile people that you were ever meeting in life, he still had that right under the First Amendment, and they gave him that platform. CNN is taking a lot of heat in regards to giving the Orange Idiot that platform. They're taking a lot of heat for that. But with that being said, with that being said, what do you think? Do you think he should have been given that platform to speak on CNN or any other network? We know that he often goes on to the Fox network, which is not Fox News. It's the Fox Entertainment channel. It's not news. We know he goes onto that channel and spew his lies and his hate and this, that, and other. But when it comes to an election, do we set a precedent where we stifle a candidate just because we don't agree with their views? That's where we get into that murky water, if you will. That's where we get into that fine line of, is it going to be for or against the Constitution to do that? So, but anyway, with that being said, CNN gave him the platform, and he was a complete embarrassment. If you watch this, I watched it, and I was literally cringing the whole time that I watched it and the whole time I listened to it, and I finally got to the point. Um, I was trying to hold out as long as I can, and I got to the point where I said, okay, I can't do it anymore. And at that point, some miraculously it was over. It was that they ended it right after I came to that conclusion. But from the first question, that was asked in this town hall, and the moderator is Katie Collins. Katie Collins was the moderator in this deal. From the first question, he started lies. He started in on the 2020 election that it was a fraudulent election. I mean, he just went on about the lies, and there was vans pulling up and ballots being dumped, and they was on. I mean, it was just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. Katie Collins, my understanding, from what I understand, she's 30 years old or somewhere near 30 years old. She was given the task of questioning the most prolific liar in the history of politics, and the most disgusting and the most arrogant and the most outrageous, if you will, candidate that they can pick. I didn't agree with her being the moderator because I knew that she was going to have issues trying to control stupidity. But anyway, in this, if you didn't watch it, I would say, so you can see, if for no other reason, I think you should watch it just so that you can see what the people around you are supporting. Because I'm sure that each and every one of you that is within the sound of my voice, I'm sure that you have a friend, a coworker, a colleague, somebody who's a parent on your son's or daughter's baseball or softball team or football team. You affiliate yourself with someone who supports this idiot. And the reason I want you to watch this is because I want you to be aware of the people around you. I want you to be aware of what that person that's looking in your face at the team, the game, and at that sitting next to you in your workplace. I want you to see what these people think about you. And at this point, I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about women. If you watch this and you see that your coworker, the one that's sitting next to you, or the one that works side by side for you, or your team mom on your son's baseball team, or your friend that you've been friends with, if you see that they support what I saw on CNN last night, and even though I knew this is who Donald Trump is, if you think that that person that supports that type of hate, that type of stupidity, that type of immorality, if you think that that person likes you as a person, then you are sadly mistaken. You need to reevaluate, because there's no way on God's green earth that someone can support someone that vile and that disgusting and that racist and that sexist and that xenophobic and that homophobic. If you support someone of that character, you have to be having the same or have the same type of characteristics as that person, because there's no way you could go along with someone like that if you like black people, if you like women and respect women, if you like the LGBTQ community or people of the LGBTQ community, and you treat them as human beings that they are. You cannot support this man and look me in my face and say I'm your friend. You can't do that. It's not possible. There's no way in hell you can be a friend of a black person by supporting this garbage. It's not possible. And I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about policy. That I'm not even talking about policy. I'm talking about character. Because a person who is not going to support that type of character will do anything that they need to do to tell that person, no, you're wrong. You cannot do that. You cannot treat people that. You can't say that to that person, and that, and the other, or what have you. So, but anyway, Katie Collins had the task of trying to control this idiot for an hour or so, and she tried to push back, but she was not forceful enough. She did not have the fortitude that is needed to put someone like Trump in his place. Even though she tried to fact check him, and it was mostly in the lines of election fraud, he just continued. It was lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. And here's what is more disgusting, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of what he said. I'm going to try not to anyway. But here's what is disturbed me the most, especially when they were talking about the trial that he had just lost, the sexual assault or the rape, where he just lost $5 million. He mocked E. Jean Carroll in this town hall. He made jokes about E. Jean Carroll in his town hall. But even though I expected that from the Orange Idiot, because that's him, that's his character. He's a disgusting individual. The audience. Let's talk about the audience for a minute. First of all, I can't understand why would CNN do a town hall and bring in all voters or Trump supporters, if you will. Why would they do a town hall and bring in only Trump supporters to come in and participate in this town hall? That made no sense to me. Made no sense whatsoever. But on top of that, when Trump was defaming and making jokes about his rape of E. Jean Carroll, what's more disturbing than anything is that they say it was 400 people in the building. Those 400, the majority of those 400 people that were there laughed at his disgusting jokes about the rape of E. Jean Carroll, and they applauded this perverted asshole. That's the scary part. We know who Trump is. We know what he's capable of. We know he's a rapist. We know he's a racist. We know he's a homophobe. We know he's a xenophobe. We know he's a narcissist. We know that he's Putin's puppet, that he will do anything that Putin says. We know all this about Trump, so we can't even sit here and think that Trump is going to do anything that's going to put himself in a positive light, because it's not going to happen. What we should be concerned with is the dumbasses and these assholes that are supporting him even after everything is said and done. He's found guilty of rape, and they are still out there defending him. I seen this one idiot, and he's a representative out of Florida, out of South Florida. He was a black man. He's in Congress, from my understanding, in the House of Representatives. Byron Donald is his name. He's a black man in Congress from South Florida. He would be a very intelligent and smart individual, but he's one of the dumbest fucks on earth because of the way he defends Donald Trump. Nothing is Trump's fault. Anytime, I've seen him 2 or 3 times now, and every time he opens his mouth, Trump can do no wrong. And for this person to anytime Trump does something, he finds a way to blame someone else. It's never Trump's fault. It's always someone else. It's the media's fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's that he never blames Trump for anything, even in the situation of this trial where he was just found guilty. And this is a black man. Normally, I would be proud of a black man gaining the position and being in Congress. I would applaud that. But in this case, that dumbass need to be put out of Congress. He needs to be deprogrammed, if you will, and somebody need to put some common sense back into his head. He's too smart to be so damn stupid. And for women, with this town hall last night for women, he downplayed the Roe v. Wade. He's happy about the fact that Roe v. Wade was overturned under his administration. He lied about abortions, and he was talking about how, just dumb shit that these dumbass people believe when he said. For him to sit on national TV in front of millions of people and sit here and lie and say that Democrats support abortions even after birth. What kind of bullshit is that? And how stupid do you have to be to believe something like that? You have to be a dumbass. You have to be bottom of the barrel. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that are bottom of the barrel, that's supporting this foolishness, that is supporting everything that he says and everything he does, even though they know is illegal, is immoral, is corrupt, and they still support him. Those are the people we should be scared of. Those are the people that we should focus our attention on, the supporters of this foolishness. Because if you, after last night, and I've been saying this for a long time, but particularly after last night, if you are a person who says that I support Donald Trump, you are one of the biggest assholes and dumbest people on this planet. You have no morals. You have no respect for yourself or anybody around you. You are the scum of the earth. Now, if you are a woman, I don't care what color you are, if you are a woman and you vote for Donald Trump, something is seriously wrong with you. If you're a woman and vote for Donald Trump, something is wrong with you. You have issues that you need to get taken care of, because only stupidity in my brain would allow a woman to vote for a rapist and a person that is against your rights, who don't want you to have control over your body, and is a rapist. And I'm still trying to get information on the case because he was accused of child rape too. However, that particular case just kind of disappeared. The woman that brought the charges or brought the complaint, if you will, just kind of mysteriously disappeared. So I really want to hear about that. I really want to know more about that. But if you're black, if you're a woman, if you are Hispanic or brown, if you will, and you vote for Trump, something is seriously wrong with you. You're stupid. That's the only word I can come up with that describes who you are and your character. You're stupid because he doesn't like you and he doesn't respect you and he could care less about you. And that goes for the Republican Party as a whole. The Republican Party does not like black people, does not like brown people, does not like women, does not like the LGBTQ plus community. Period, point blank. So, with that being said, people, I'm about to get out of here. I have an event I need to get to. That was the reason for coming on the show early today. We came on at 5:30 today. I encourage you to watch this town hall just so you can see the vile and the disgust that I have in regards to this pathetic shell of a person. That way you can understand and know the people around you who support him, what they think of you. This country is going to hell if this man is let back in office. Why he's not locked up already, I don't know. But this country is going straight to hell if he ends up back in the White House. But anyway, time for me to get out of here, guys. It's Thursday. We're going into the weekend. Hope you have a great, safe weekend. Hopefully the weather be nice wherever you are, to where you can get outside and do some things outside, get you some exercise, enjoy the weather. Treat people nice, people. Treat people nice. You know, each one teach one. We need to do better in society as a whole. We need to do better. We need to come together as one. Stop all this foolishness, all this hate. The color of my skin and the color of your skin should have nothing to do with my character. If I'm an asshole, then I'll be an asshole regardless of what color I am. If I'm a good person, I'm going to be a good person regardless of what color I am. Judge people on the content of the character, as Dr. Martin Luther King say, not the color of their skin. So, but anyway, I will be back on Monday. I should have a guest coming on Monday. I'll be putting that information out over the weekend. In regards to Monday show, should have a guest coming on. The Culture Fest is coming up. The organizer of the Culture Fest is going to be on the show on Monday. So make sure that you tune in to get information about that. We want to make sure that this event is going to be a success, because it's about to giving you information on different cultures and even your culture. So we'll talk about that on Monday night. But again, y'all have a good weekend. Y'all be safe and be blessed. And I am out of here.